Hello everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to our session, Declarative UI in Android. Our speaker for the session is India's first Google developer expert of Kotlin, Rivu Chakraborty. He's Android architect at PayTM Insider, ex-Android dev at BYJU'S. He's a tech speaker, author, blogger, and Kotlin advocate. I would like to welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome you, and the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thanks for the awesome introduction, and thanks for this opportunity to talk about Jetpack Compose and Declarative UI in Android. So today we are not only gonna talk about Jetpack Compose, we are actually gonna do something like we are actually gonna use it. So we'll develop an app, this one. Basically, an app that lets you search about movies and details about them. For example, yeah, this is the screen, and we can search about say Avengers, right? Yeah, Avengers, and click search, and here's the search result. And for example, you want to know about Avengers Endgame, you can click on it, and there's the details. If you go back, there's the disk screen. You can search about something new, say Batman, for example. Yeah, from Marvel to straight to DC, but yeah. Yeah, here's the Batman Begins, Batman Returns, and Batman Forever, and all those results. So we can click on Batman Begins, and here's the result. Uh, if we go back from here, then we'll lead to the Avengers search. So yeah, there's backstack as well. So yeah, I already have the code for this app. I'm gonna just go through and explain the stuff and how we actually do it. So let me share. Let me stop sharing this and share Android Studio. Yeah. Uh, Here's all the code, all the UI related code you need for this app. All of them. So the first screen is the splash screen, right? So let's start from the splash screen. In the splash screen, we see the Jetpack logo, stars, and then launches, right? So that is basically a Lottie animation, and we are using Lottie Compose library to achieve that. So yeah, here's a constant layout basically. That's how you create constant layout in Jetpack Compose. You just write constant layout, and then I have put it in field max size. And yeah, if you remember the Lottie animation, then below Lottie there is I am giving credit to where I got the Lottie from. So this is basically lottiefiles.com. So I am giving credit to them that I got it from them. So yeah, uh, here is the Lottie animation. So what I am doing here in the Lottie animation, let's start it from here. I am just uh, using a function that Lottie team provided, Lottie animation, and I am providing the raw file, right, that I got from Lottie with this animation spec. Here I am using Jetpack as r.raw and splash animation Jetpack. So this is the JSON file for Lottie. So yeah, that's how I achieved it. Now, uh, it seems a bit complex if you just start from the constant layout, right? So let's start from something simple. The loading, when there's a loading
Excuse me,
animation.
sir.
Yeah. Hello.
It would be great if you can just magnify the code, like it's a
Yeah.
bit small.
Let me- Is it better now?
Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you. So yeah, how do we show progress bar, right? So it's very simple. Just call circular progress indicator, and I am going with max size, and just ignore these semantics. It is for actually writing UI test cases, and it's not actually required in the production code. I'm using the semantics for using UI test cases. So yeah, uh, this is the progress bar, and if you want to write a text anywhere, then it's pretty simple. Instead of text view, you use text. uh, then in the text field you provide the text. Then in the style, you provide however you want the style to be. So you can have it default, or you can actually skip this argument as well. Here I am having 10 sp font size, so I am providing that. And all the other things you can provide in the modifier, for example the padding, and as well as if you're using constraint layout, then constraint as well. And now for about constraints we'll talk about later. Let's talk about, yeah, here, no, yeah, here. So this is the movie item card. It is a simple card view. Just we don't need the view part. It's now a composable called card. Shape, we are having rounded corner. We are providing elevation here 7dp, and wrap content is now modifier dot wrap content height. Now how you want to align it, you can provide it here. If you want to provide a drop shadow, you can provide it here, right? And then inside the card view, we have an image that we are providing here. So yeah, that's how you provide images. Basically, you have to provide an image asset. Now image asset can be a raw resource, it can be uh, URL. For URL we'll discuss about that, but yeah, you provide the image asset. And then modify is for all the arbitrary arguments, right? And then it accepts alignment, it accepts scaling. uh, you can provide xy, you can provide fit, whatever you need, right? And alpha, and if you want a color filter to apply on the image. So yeah, and yeah, in the error screen we have a text error showing movies, and we are showing the error details. And yeah, this is the search screen. Basically here, basically it happens when you tap on the search. It shows enter the movie name to search, and after that there is a text field. So yeah, text field is again pretty much simple. You keep a type text. Basically it's a state variable. Now what is a state variable I will explain later, but for now just consider it as a variable, simple variable. Now whenever we type something in this text field, it will update itself. And yeah, basically here you can see, yeah, on text input started, uh, we show the keyboard. And once the IMA action here is the search action we provided. If you can, yeah, I'm action is the search action, and whenever someone clicks search, we just perform the search. We hide the soft keyboard and we perform the search. And if someone types something, it will call on value change and we'll update the value, this value with the text user type. So it's basically like when you are using edit text, right? You We used if you want to keep track of the text that is being entered, you introduce a variable and you introduce a callback. So whenever the user types something on the screen, that callback will call, and you update the variable, right? It's almost the same concept here. Basically the same concept only. So whenever user types something, we'll update the type text value. Now we are not gonna do anything with it until user taps on search or user clicks on uh, the search icon that we provided, or search button that we provided. So if the user clicks on search button, then we again do the same thing. We call on search. Yeah. And this is the search screen. And for list, basically, this is the list screen. It is again pretty much simple. Instead of recycler view, we have something called lazy column for, and here you can basically pass on any list, right? And you don't need a separate class for adapter. Here you have a callback. So basically, this callback wants to know that how do you want to show the list, right? So yeah, this is the callback, and it's basically the last argument of the list lazy columns for. You can see here. Yeah. So we are providing these items and this modifier, and then item content. Since it is the last content, like last parameter of a function, so in Kotlin you don't you can put the braces, like you can provide the lambda outside the function braces if it is the last parameter of your function. So that's what we have done here. Now it will receive each of the item, and we can define how do we want to show it. Now there's an option where you can also receive the position if you need position for showing something, like there are cases when you want to show the first item differently and then rest of the items differently. So that option is also there. So here we are not doing anything like that. We are just showing the movie. So we have created a box, and inside that box we are showing the uh, item, basically movie item card. Now here's the movie item card. So here we have a image again. So now on the image we'll first show the we are loading the picture with something called load picture. That is a function that we wrote here to load the picture with glide. Now if you want to use glide, then you can use the similar thing here that I have done, or alternatively you can also use the new image loading library uh, that actually has support for the Jetpack Compose. Yeah. uh, so here we are showing the logo, we are showing the item title, item type, item year, and IMDb. And basically all of these are actually reference points. We are referencing them with custom layout. So here we have created references for them. And then in the modifier we pass the reference, and we provide how do we want to align this, right? Similar to how we did in the XML, it's pretty much similar. uh, and yeah, so that's how you actually organize the layout. But what about the state changes, right? So that's where the fun begins. So basically, you don't need to show or hide any view. In Compose, what happens? Everything is on the runtime. So either a view is created and shown, or it's not created at all, saving a lot of memory, right? So this is the movie screen, the parent composable, and here we have a parameter called states live data, right? So it will receive the state, that whether it is loading screen or whether it's splash screen or basically movie state. So movie state has if whether movies is loading, whether movies are empty, whether it's an error, or whether it's the detailed screen we need to show, and along with the query. If you have entered a query, it will be there, and yeah, it will receive that. And so the first thing we're doing is that we are checking if it is a splash screen. Now, how do we know it is a splash screen? So when the movie is composable or movie screen is first called, then it is a splash screen, right? Because we always begin with a splash screen. Now, by default, the splash screen will be true, right? And once we have shown the splash screen, it will be false. Now, we are creating a state variable, because what happens with composable is that this function will be called multiple times, right? And if we just introduce a variable and set it to true, then this line will be called multiple times, and it will be true every single time. So here we are using something called remember. So what it will do is that it will call this only once, and it will save this state. And whenever we modify the value of this, right, that value will also be remembered, and it will be not overwritten or the next time this function is called. So that is a basically a state variable. So let me show you when we are using this value. So if it is splash screen, which is by default true, we are showing the splash, and we are passing this state value as a parameter. Now here you can see we are expecting a mutable state. uh, so here I have added a default argument that is false. So yeah, and when we have actually shown the splash screen, right, we are measuring that whether animation state has progressed 100% or not. So when animation state has progressed 100%, it will be 1f. By default, it starts with 0 and then 0. 0.1, 0. 0.2. That way it goes to all across 0.9 and 1. So 1 means it's completed, and when animation screen is completed, we are setting the is playing value to true, basically. And is playing will be modified, and so will be this one. So we are actually passing is splash playing by the reference. uh, so if you modify the value there, it will be modified here as well. Now if you remember, then Kotlin doesn't allow you to modify the function parameters. So that's why we are not exactly modifying uh, this parameter. We are modifying a value that it holds. So yeah, is playing dot value. It's more of like passing a data class and modifying some value of the data class. Yeah. So when the splash is false, then we are doing all of this. So by default, we have the movie state, right? And if it is so let me show you what the initial state means. It means that there is nothing. Idle screen means that there is no query, movies is empty, as well as loading is false, and detail is null. So there is no detail, no error, no query, and no movies. That means the idle screen. So if there is any movie detail present, that means it's the detail state. Like when you tapped into a movie and you went into the movie details, and if this boolean is true, is loading is true, that means it's loading. And yeah, that's all. So we have basically three state, except from the error. So is loading, is detail, and is idle. So here we are checking if it is a detail screen. We are showing the movie details. uh, you can see it here. If it is a data screen, we are going to data screen. If it is a loading screen, we are going to loading screen. If the it is not data screen and not loading screen, that means it's either success state or a error state. So success state means we will show the list of the movies only if the movies is not empty. And error state means if movies is empty, it's basically some kind of error state. So either the movie state dot error is present, or there is something else. So we check that if error is not null, that means it is actually error state. Then we show the error screen. Uh, yeah, and basically we are. If you observe here, then we observe this live data as a state. So again, this function will be called multiple times by the composable itself, but uh, it will since we are observing it as a state, it will not be called twice. So whenever that live data emits a new value, the state observer will actually update the state, and based on that, which screen is shown will be changed here. So when loading screen is present, it is showing the loading screen, right? And no other screen is created. And when we go to the list screen from the loading screen, it will basically remove the loading screen and destroy it, and then it will show the list screen at the same time. Uh, so yeah, that's how the composable actually works. Uh, so if anyone has any questions, I will take them now, and otherwise I will move ahead and I will try to implement a feature. So on the back page, let me show you. Let me stop sharing that and share the emulator again. Yeah. So yeah, let's begin from the yeah. This is the splash screen, and this is the basically the empty screen. So this is the search screen, and it is the ideal state basically. And here, the search screen is present. You can search with say yeah, John, for example, and search John Wick. John Wick Chapter 2, everything is displayed, and if you click, you enter that John Wick. If you click back, you are in the list screen. Now we want to search about Captain America, right? Yeah, from John Wick to straight to Captain America. Uh, Okay, so it is not shown, I think. uh, the organizer team, can you actually add my screen to the stream? Emulator is not visible. Yeah, organizer team, can you actually add my shared screen to the stream? I think the organizers are not available actually. uh, I shouldn't have stopped sharing. uh, okay, let's actually move ahead with. So yeah, let me actually describe what I wanted to achieve. So basically, in the app, I will share the. Uh, how do I share anything? So if you go to GitHub and basically search RevuCHK, that's my GitHub username, RevuCHK, and inside that you will find I have a project called Jetpack Compose MVI demo. So I am demonstrating that project only here today. So yeah, the whole screen is there. uh, there's a GIF that plays the whole screen. You can actually watch that. And just a moment. Yeah, thanks. So organizer team has shared. uh, yeah, so basically this is the release screen, right? So let us start again from the beginning. So yeah, this is the splash screen with the Jetpack Compose animation. There is all Lottie, and here it is the idle screen, and here's the search icon. If you tap on the search icon, this is the search screen, and here we can search about Avengers again. You can actually click on end game. You can view the details. You can search again. Say you want to search about uh, Captain America. No, not Captain American. Yeah. So yeah, all the Captain America related movies that are there. Uh, so basically, even the comic ones are shown. So you want to view the details about Captain America here, and yeah, that was the loading screen, and this is the details screen. And if you press back, you are redirected to the list screen, right? Now here we are maintaining a backstack. So if you click back again here, you will land to Avengers screen. Now, what is the general user expectation that if you click back again, uh, you would exit the app, but there should be a confirmation, right? If I click back again, app exits, but I think there should be a confirmation screen, some snack bar that actually shows, hey, do you want to exit the app? So yeah, that's what we are gonna implement. So basically, let me again stop sharing this screen and share the Android Studio. So yeah, organizer team, I will again need you to start the Android Studio sharing once I share it. Yeah, Ritika, this code can definitely be shared. Basically, it's already there in the GitHub. I will mention the link. Basically, yeah, let me mention the link here only. So yeah, this code is already here. github.com/reviewchk/jetpack compose mvi demo. You can go to this link, and this code is already there. And yeah, so what actually happens in the backtrace, right? So let's go to the activity. On the backtrace, we received basically received this one on backtrace, right? So here we are actually maintaining the history in the activity. So if someone presses back, we do a past search. We call search without history. Basically, there are two search options. One is this one, where we add it to the backstack of search, and other one is this one, where we just publish the search event, and then uh, basically we are following MVI here, but let's not focus on that. Basically, we publish the event, and then the other view model will observe it and do the search, and then update the live data. So once the live data is updated, with the state will be updated, and it will be reflected accordingly. So yeah, what I want to do is that, uh, so when there is no past search, there should be an event that should tell the Jetpack Compose to actually show a confirmation screen, right? So yeah, this is the state. We can actually add a value to the uh, movie data state class. So yeah, here we can actually add a value, say val uh, exit confirmation. It will be obviously a boolean flag. and it will be false by default, right? We should not always show the exit confirmation, and only when this value is true we'll show the exit confirmation. Now, from here, what I want to do is that if password not equals to null, and instead of doing this here, we are gonna call, we are basically we need to update the, we need to create another publisher, and that will actually update the library, right? Because we need to update the state, and state updation can only be happen through the view model. So just bear with me, and or rather we can actually, so this is basically MVI flow. uh, let's remove that, and okay. ah mm, I think Android Studio ran out of memory somehow. So uh, let's close the Android Studio, and since we are using the beta version, things like this can happen, right? So I will need to share the screen again. Yeah. So yeah, when there's an error, and further on limiting. So I need to exit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Uh, so basically, that action is there. The result is there. students. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think back action here. Callback. So I think there's a limit to the merge. Source 4 and so there are 4 sources only supported. Up to 4 sources can be passed here. So yeah. So what? Let's focus on what I need to change in the UI section, right? So let's open movies composable. So, it's only like instead of only these screens, we also have something called uh, exit confirmation, right? Now, when exit confirmation is there, so if state dot, so instead of this, yeah, exit confirmation, if it is present, then we need to call show a snack bar. So in the snack bar, what we need to pass, we can see that here. So we need to pass an action. We need to pass the text, which is basically a composable, and yeah, that's all we need to pass. So yeah, let's go on and pass the action equals to. So there will be an action, and uh, this will be the text. So we can show a text this, and we can show are you sure to exit. uh, and basically it will show that, and here we need another parameter called on back trace confirmed. This will basically unit unit security, or we can actually skip that, right? We can pass that here. So whenever backtrace is, wait a moment, I think, okay, action is also basically a composable. So we can do it like this. Backtrace confirmed, we can call it. And yeah, so whenever backtrace, someone clicks on OK, we can call this function, and this function will actually exit the app. And whenever from where it's called, the activity, we can actually call finish. So whenever backtrace is confirmed, we can finish. And so let's add a mediator live data here. So because the MBA flow is like there's having some problem with, so what we are gonna do, we are actually gonna uh, sorry uh, emit the backset from here instead of the view model. So in the on create, we are gonna actually add source live data. So whenever this live data changes, we can actually, sorry, yeah, post it to the mediator live data. And instead of live data here, we can pass on mediator live data here. And instead of passing an intent, so yeah, here instead of super dot backtrace, we can call mediator live data dot post value. Here we have the current value, so state dot copy exit confirmation equals to true. And we can actually clean up all other things. So there's an error. My Sorry. Yeah, here. Yeah. So this is it, and let us run it. So again, what we are doing here. So if the state is not null and it doesn't have any past search, so basically past search is basically we are a stack we are maintaining here. So whenever you search an item, search something, we add it to the stack and then search it. And whenever you press back, we pop the stack and show you the last searched item from here. And yeah, whenever like there is no stack present, will show you the exit confirmation basically. And yeah, mm, let us run it and see what happens. So yeah, we'll run it in our emulator. I will share the emulator screen when basically it has run. So let's wait for a couple of seconds, or like it doesn't take much time to run here. So within a few moments it should, yeah, it's installing. And let me share the emulator, and I haven't seen it myself yet, so yeah, cross fingers. So let's search with something, say Avengers search. It's crashing. So yeah, but yeah, that's it. That's how actually you implement. And probably I have missed somewhere, so that's why it's crashing. And but yeah, that's how you go ahead with Jetpack Compose. So if you have any questions, we can take now. Okay, so I presume there's no doubt here on Jetpack Compose. So yeah, yeah. Thanks for the opportunity. I enjoyed a lot uh, talking here about Jetpack Compose. So I am playing with Jetpack Compose. Before it was made Alpha. I am forking the repository and playing with it, and I'm talking about it after a long time. So yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and it was really nice being here. Let's wrap it up. I will give back the stage to you, Sangeeta. I'm glad you liked